Hello there, mochas and macchiatos. Welcome to Basically Misled.
I'm Dagny.
And I'm Day.
We give advice. 50% is life-changing, 50% will leave you crying in a stairwell by the end of the day. You decide which is which.
Come procrastinate with us while we chatter endlessly about things you could probably just Google.
Today we have a special episode featuring the mascot of Evergreen.
Yeah, well, okay, not literally featuring. We don't have Speedy in the house with us.
Speedy isn't with us today.
But he's always in our hearts.
Yeah. No, Day. No. I was like, yeah. And I'm like, wait. No. Not at all.
Speedy's not in your heart?
Speedy is an elusive character, and they aren't just available for any old show like ours.
We didn't even try. I don't know if Speedy would talk.
Somehow I doubt they have much to say.
Right.
I don't know. They always have like a really big smile in every image of Speedy I've ever seen.
Yeah. But they really just wave and smile.
I mean, that's typical of the mascot behavior.
True. Yeah, I was in the computer center the other day, and Speedy came around. But it was a person with Speedy that was doing all the talking.
Oh.
They're like, hey, want to get a picture with Speedy? And one of the people working was like, oh, could I get a quick picture with Speedy? And they're like, oh, yeah, totally, man. Like, come, take a photo. And then they, like, took the photo, and then they, like, went off into other parts of the computer center and was like, hey, what's up?
Oh my god, we need a picture with Speedy.
Do we? Do we really?
Yes, we do. Oh my god.
Okay.
Oh, we've convinced her.
Not really. I can get out of it yet. Anyway,
so Speedy is a geoduck, which looks like geoduck, in case people didn't know that.
Yeah.
Like, it's Geo duck.
I was watching this show on Netflix that was about chefs, and some of them were cooking with geoduck, but they're from Australia, and they pronounced it geoduck.
Really?
And I was just like, no! But,
wow.
Yeah.
All that time is spent correcting people in another country. They just bypass all that and go right for the obvious spelling.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what is a geoduck actually? I feel like I've had like a vague sense of like it's a clam with like a really long neck, which is true.
It's a clam. Its neck can stretch very far.
Yeah. But the whole neck doesn't fit in the shell.
But it can... You see the neck? Add like a couple feet onto it. That's how big it will get. I don't really know if that's actually true.
They're actually quite large.
They are.
Like, if you're imagining like two hands put together, I think that's... Like, the shell is going to be... It could sit in the hands.
Yeah.
But it's going to be... This is not a good description.
I've seen...
It's bigger than a taco shell.
It's bigger than a taco shell. I've seen actual geoduck shells.
Oh. What are they the size of?
Like... I don't know.
Like 2 hand palm area-wise?
No, that's too big.
But, like, moved over the area. Like... Isn't it longer than the hand palm or no?
No, they weren't super long.
Okay.
Like, so if you put them in, like, okay, I have small hands, but if you put it in the palm of my hand, it, like, was bigger than my hand, but not by much.
Oh. I wonder if that's all of them, though.
Yeah, it might have been an immature geoduck.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, my work uses them for coins. Like the shell.
Oh, those are...
Yeah. But I don't think that's the actual size, because I think it's been a really long time since we got new ones. Mm-hmm. And so they've broken. But we're going to get new ones once my boss figures out how to make them not break so easily. They're very fragile. Yeah.
That makes sense.
It's
Did
like
you
a
know
sand dollar.
the longest geoduck on record was 168 years old?
I did not know that, actually.
Really, it's on your paper, so.
I know. Should have read it. That's quite a long time. Yeah.
Very old. It's the largest burrowing clam. A burrowing clam is such an interesting pick for a mascot.
Right?
Yeah. But yeah, people eat them.
Oh, yeah.
Who eats them? Do you know? Because I don't go to the store to purchase geoduck meat.
I think it's a lot more common in Asian cultures. It's common in a different culture than ours. Because if you look at a geoduck, I guess I'm not a seafood person, but that does not look appetizing to me. And I don't know how that would taste good at all. If I'm being completely honest, a geoduck, no thanks.
I mean, it's probably just about as any other clam that you would eat.
I don't like clams.
I mean, it's pretty meaty looking.
Yeah, I mean, it's a thick... I wanted to say a thick bird. It's not a bird. It's a thick clam, man.
It's a thick clam.
But, yeah, so people definitely eat them. Mm-hmm. And just so you guys know, I think it's it's a shop downtown, in downtown Olympia. They have geoduck around graduation.
Oh.
Yeah, they don't hold it year round. But come graduation, because that's when everybody's like, oh, geoducks, what's that? Let's try some. So then they have some. Or you could order it. And they would acquire it for you. Or just go down to the Evergreen beach. I think they have geoducks down there, actually.
That you can... Well, I mean, geoducks live in Puget Sound.
Yeah. So just go harvest yourself one.
I don't know if we should be recommending
Yeah, I wouldn't do that, but
I don't actually know this. I wonder if there's natural predator, what the natural predator of a geoduck is.
Humans.
Yeah.
I don't know. What else? It's probably something else.
Does anything... I mean, they're big.
Right.
What is bigger than a geoduck that lives... Well, they don't get that far underwater.
No.
So...
They burrow, but in the sand.
Yeah. I just don't know what's up that close to the shallows that's bigger than them.
I don't know. Maybe birds try to get them.
Yeah. Anyway, so a geoduck is a clam.
Yep.
We don't actually know that much about it, apparently.
No.
But it is a clam.
But it is most commonly found in the Puget Sound and the Strait of Georgia near Vancouver, British Columbia. Yeah. So, that's where you'll find them.
Yeah. I should probably see one in real life. Maybe I should eat one before I graduate. Maybe you should eat one before you graduate. But you don't like seafood. Eat it. Maybe you should just see one.
I'll see one. Although, I did watching that show, I got a real close-up of it dead.
Well. So, Speedy. I don't actually know where the name of Speedy comes from either. I'm just full of non-information today. Google it yourself. I can't tell you.
I don't know. Maybe are they... I think they might be quick. Are they fast? Are geoducks fast?
Well, they don't move, actually. So they burrow into the spot, and then they stay there.
But, they might be quick to burrow.
Is there when they reach up? Or so they're quick to dig?
Yeah. Maybe. That could be it. I don't really know.
Anyway, so Speedy uses they them pronouns.
Yes.
Which is found in a sign about information about Speedy. Interestingly, on this sign, where was this sign, what was it posted by?
What do you mean?
This sign that you gave me.
What do you mean, what was it posted by?
I mean, what was it for? Was just
So
it's a sign about it's saying information about Speedy.
Yeah, so there's these really big bookmarks actually that are at the bookstore, and you can also get them. They're giving them away right now for, I think, incoming students. Like, it's kind of like an advertising thing, but you can buy them for like 50 cents at the bookstore. And so that's where I took a picture of this one.
This sign.
Yeah.
I like how for age, the age is young.
Right.
That's not an age. But if you ever were wondering how old Speedy is, the answer is young.
Young for a geoduck, they say.
I know.
So, maybe...
Okay, let's calculate. If a geoduck can live to be 170.
What's young?
What is young?
I would say like 70's young.
70?
8.
That's like almost halfway.
Oh, yeah, it is.
I feel like 40 or under.
40 or under. I guess maybe they're talking about how long the school has been around. So that's since the 70s.
So Speedy was born the day the school was born.
Or the day they got a mascot.
Or the day the school was born.
Yeah.
They didn't have to know about Speedy for Speedy to exist.
True.
Speedy was born the day the school was born, and later they found Speedy. That's a story that I just made up. It's
I love
now
that
canon.
story.
So,
yeah.
Speedy digs. So funny. Hugs, high fives, and taking selfies, which is interesting.
They're shelfies.
I wonder who wrote this. They're like, what are the kids doing these days?
Right.
High fives and selfies.
I think it's kind of because, like, you're like, oh, the mascot, like, I want to take a photo with them.
Oh.
So it's more like, you're welcome to, like, go up, high five Speedy, hug Speedy, or take a photo with Speedy.
Right. Don't do any other activities with the mascot.
No skipping with Speedy.
No. No tackles.
No tackles.
Probably not hitting with a stick.
No.
Just hugs and taking selfies.
I'm just going to say this right now. Don't hit anyone with a stick.
There goes my afternoon plan.
Yeah. Just so you know, Speedy really likes phytoplankton and mud pies for a snack.
For a snack. I feel like that you need to add that in.
I know.
Otherwise it's just like...
It's for a snack, guys.
Yeah.
I really like this one. Their favorite author is Shel Silverstein. Everyone gets a crack out of that.
Yeah. There's actually, I wonder, compared to other colleges, how much imagery of Speedy is around our campus compared to other campuses.
Yeah.
I feel like it might be less. Although,
I think so too.
in the CRC, there's these, like, big paintings in the room with the, like, treadmills and stuff.
Yeah.
And there's Bigfoot, which is also somewhat... Is that just like a Pacific Northwest thing, or is it also a little bit specifically with Evergreen?
No, it's completely Pacific Northwest.
So, okay, but we incorporate it in.
We do, because it's so... Like, people are so into it. I think, like, Bigfoot's supposed to be in Washington.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't think it's specifically us, Evergreen, doing something.
No,
more
but I
with
feel...
it.
Yeah, it's a bit of an attachment, but I guess maybe just because it's in the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
But anyway, so these pictures of Bigfoot with Speedy on his shoulder.
Yeah.
I don't know. People say Bigfoot. They're like, oh, Bigfoot could be any gender. But I really feel like I don't know. I'm always like, I use he when talking about Bigfoot, and so does everyone I know.
Feels so masculine to me.
Right. Also, Bigfoot never has boobs. Not that you need boobs to use.
Well, do we say that Bigfoot has male genitals?
No.
So.
I don't know why I think Bigfoot is
I don't know either. I think it's because everybody's like, oh, there's like this big monstrous thing, must be a man.
Maybe I think it's because what is Bigfoot if not a mythical creature? It's actually just a man.
Right?
I think that's why, because I'm like, what is Bigfoot?
A man who has a condition where he grows a lot of hair and has big feet.
Just a man in a gorilla suit.
Yeah.
With a beard, maybe. Maybe the bottom part is a gorilla suit, but the top is all natural.
Oh, God. That could be it.
Yeah. Anyway. Speedy is around places.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Speedy?
Okay. So, my first encounter with knowing about Speedy was when I was talking with my aunt who had gone to Evergreen, and she was like, have you seen their mascot? You should look it up. And so I looked it up and was kind of like, whoa. And, I mean, they've had so many different costumes for Speedy. Like, so many. And so I think the one that they have now is better.
It's very shiny.
It's very shiny. It's more cartoon-like.
Yeah, I think cartoon is the way to go with Speedy.
Yeah, it's not that one.
Oh.
No, it's a different one. Oh, yeah, they have a different one that's more...
The one I'm thinking of is
less phallic.
Oh, it is?
They made it so much less phallic.
Interesting.
Well, I think they kind of had to with everything else. But, yeah, and it's wearing sweatpants.
It's wearing sweatpants?
That's, like, gray sweatpants that say Evergreen on it. I think. But, yeah, so when I first encountered Speedy, I was kind of, like, taken aback. But also, like, okay, whatever. Because I don't care about mascots.
Yeah, I mean, I guess a mascot isn't a very serious sort of subject, even in regular colleges.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that serious, but the fact that Speedy could just, like, make it. I mean, that's the joke, right? Is that everyone thinks Speedy looks, like, very phallic.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, I feel like that's why I feel like a geoduck, people just laugh.
Right? I mean, I look at geoducks and I'm like, that resembles something.
Something I've seen before. What does it remind me of?
Oh.
Yeah, but so I very much have always appreciated that Speedy is just, like, so weird, I guess.
Yeah.
I found this list of, like, things Speedy has won, which one of them is the #1 worst college mascot.
Wow.
Which is a pretty impressive title, if you ask me.
Yeah,
I mean,
we're #1.
Right? #1. Come on. We've got some other ones like the #5 strangest. Of course, that's not #1.
No. What's #1 on that list?
Like, made the lists, like, most baffling or most ridiculous. Or, like, the weirdest.
Right. Yeah, did a lot of weirdest ones.
Yeah.
One of 11 interesting college mascots. That's something, I guess. Unusual. Yeah.
It's just kind of goofy. But I think it's #1.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It is something that I, like, so when I talk to my friends who go to more traditional colleges, they're always like, Day, your college is so weird. Or like, that's a thing at Evergreen.
Yeah.
Or like, wait, you don't have to do that. Or things like that. But they're also kind of like, what a weird mascot you have.
Part of me is like, I mean, obviously, like, I'm glad that I'm at Evergreen and that I went here.
Yeah.
But, like, I wonder about the perspective of, like, other colleges versus here. Because a lot of people are like, oh, Evergreen's such a weird school. But to me, it's the only college I've ever been at.
Right.
So it's like, this is how high school was. That's my sample size for high school, is like what I experienced. Which actually was a better sample size comparatively because I went to 4 high schools.
Yeah.
So I had a lot more high school experience. I'm like, what's regular for a high school? Like,
yeah.
And then this, I'm like, this is what's regular for college. And so I recognize that it's not the same, but it's really hard for me to know what's really different about it because it's my whole college experience. So I'm like, this is how college is.
Yeah, I think I have observed, whether it's through, like, movies, which probably aren't that realistic.
I don't trust movies about college.
I watch some vloggers who are in college, although I'm always like, wow, you're, like, way too into the aesthetic of your room for me to really care about you. Just because they're like, room decoration video. I'm kind of like, no decoration. But I don't know. And just, like, from hearing my friends and stuff, I feel like I have a pretty solid idea of what college is like outside of Evergreen. And I think that's also why I chose Evergreen. Because I didn't want one of those other experiences.
Yeah. I guess I don't know. When other people talk about their college experience, or, like, I see it in, like, a movie or something, I'm like, that's great. But what I tend to, like, people tend to say about their college what everyone else is saying there. Like, if you're like, oh, I'm so tired from, like, doing this, like, studying, or, like, this is so hard, then I feel like it just becomes a thing that everyone says. And I feel like what would be different about it is, like, the details and, like, how things work.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like, I feel like there's
that's what I feel like I have an idea of.
Yeah, I just don't have an idea of, like, the details. Because I feel like when people talk about it, they're just, like, they say things that I'm like, I understand. I don't know. It doesn't have a lot of meaning to me for some reason.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just really dumb. I'm like, I can't make anything out of this.
You're not. You're just clueless.
I'm just totally oblivious.
Not detail-oriented.
Guys, I took some online tests because I was, like, detail-oriented. I'm looking at, like, careers, and one of them is, like, detail-oriented is a skill you should have. And I'm like, detail-oriented, that's also, like, I think almost every application I've ever applied to do anything has, like, said they want detail-oriented people. And of course I'm like, I will definitely lie to you and tell you what you want to hear, but I'm like, am I detail-oriented? So of course I Googled many quizzes. I think I took, like, 4 quizzes.
Oh my god, you took that many?
Because I was like, I have to know, the internet will tell me. And I took these detail-oriented quizzes, and basically, I'm not detail-oriented. I feel like I'm detail-oriented to the point of, like, it interferes with some sort of, like, major function.
Really?
Yeah. Because, like, I don't know. I mean, like, look at my room. Like, it's not, attention to detail is not there.
True. Yeah. I find it funny because my mom, I recently was back home, and my mom was like, Day, you're so not detail-oriented.
I think you really are,
And she,
though.
like, but I think what it is, like, the things she makes me do I don't necessarily want to do, or, like, I get too frazzled. Like, we were putting away a ladder, and I mean, I don't know how ladders work. I think if it's leaning somewhat up against a tree, it's not gonna fall, but apparently that placement of the ladder, it would fall.
Yeah.
And so my mom was like, you're so in your head, you're so not detail-oriented. But then I come here and everybody's like, no, you're the most detail-oriented person of our friend group. And I'm like, yeah, I actually think I am.
Yeah. I mean, I was trying to think of things that I might be detail-oriented about it, but, like, not really in art. Like, I can do, like, a long sort of, like, mandala drawing project, which maybe you would think requires detail. But there's also times when I just, like, I'm like, oh, now it's not symmetrical. That's fine. You know, right. I just continue on. I don't know.
I have a friend who, she's so detail-oriented when it comes to art, because she used to, this was when we were real young, she would make these letters. Like, so it would be like a D. And inside the D would be all these different intricate little things. Like, she would put, like, a book, or, like, an instrument, or, like, little letters, and, like, little tiny doodles. And it wouldn't be that big of a letter, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And she would just sit for hours and do things like that.
But that's like very small art. Is that detail-oriented?
I think it's detail-oriented because of all...
But if
like,
it was really big, would it have been detail-oriented?
Yeah. She would have made it the same, like, as many. She would, based on size, she made, like, more or less in it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, she did big scale stuff. I could show... I think we created a poetry book in my school, in my class, and on the poetry book, she did the letters, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Anyway, so I'm not detail-oriented.
Yeah.
Why were we talking about that?
I don't remember. I'm the one that brought it up. Sorry, people.
It's really, I feel like, to me, detail-oriented is not actually... Maybe I'm wrong, and I don't actually know. I don't know. I'm not an employer, so maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
But I feel like detail-oriented is actually not that useful of a term. Because in the test that I took, I got varying results about how detail-oriented I was. Because some people are like, not at all. And one of them I took was like 61 out of 100, so that's like just barely over the middle. Mm-hmm. So I feel like it's just not a very clear... I think that detail-oriented, like, because here's the thing, is that if I really care about something, then I feel like I will get all the important details sorted out, and I feel like what makes me, like, score less detail-oriented is that I really sort, like, more or less important.
Yeah.
You know?
Right. Yeah.
And so, honestly, I have no idea. Are you a detail-oriented person?
Yeah. It'd be interesting to see what people define as detail-oriented.
Or what people mean when they say they want a detail-oriented person. Because I can imagine, like, any job, there's probably, like, I need you to be able to pay attention to, like, these specific numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Or, like, this filing process. Like, this needs to be done exactly correctly. And the thing is I feel like I do like following the process.
Right.
To what it needs to do to function. But maybe I sometimes lose details that I see less important.
Yeah.
I don't really know. Anyway, so going back to Speedy. It's really weird because I'm just like, oh, Speedy is our mascot because he's weird.
Yeah, weird. Like Evergreen's trying to portray this image of being weird out there.
Right.
And Speedy's what?
Right.
Works.
So, but it and I think you could argue for like any mascot, but they have actually on their website, you can go look at this, like a very like persuasive kind of thing. Like, this is why Speedy is a good mascot.
Oh, really?
And like some of it is like pretty basic, but like apparently Speedy is a versatile and flexible animal. And Evergreen can change to fit the needs of its students. Which is true.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how flexible a clam that lives in one place forever really is. Although it doesn't have... Does a clam have bones? No.
I don't think so.
So in that sense,
it's like very
flexible.
Yeah.
The flexibility of one mammal's muscle and the flexibility of an academic institution. The same.
Right, yeah.
Definitely the same thing. What was, I think, the most... So, and then there's the other thing, which is permanence. That seems to be a thing, which is really interesting, because I know Evergreen had, like, a rough start. Everyone wanted to shut it down. People still want to shut it down.
Oh, even more so now, I feel like.
Well, I feel like everyone thinks that, of course, in the moment when you're having the issue, that's when it's the most dangerous. I don't actually know that. Maybe you're right.
I think...
But, like, really? Is it really in danger? Anyway, we should probably stay on subject.
Talk about that.
But anyway, this is from the website. It says, Evergreen is like a rock. It won't go anywhere. Geoducks are rooted to the same spot forever. And I was like, wow.
Wow.
I mean, honestly, the more Evergreen survives, the more I would tend to agree with that. Like,
yeah.
You know?
I mean, it has stuck through some pretty hard times recently. Like, it's still here. Like, it didn't shut down right away. Mm-hmm. I mean, I know things like this take years, but yeah.
Anyway, but the most interesting one was that geoducks are vulnerable and non-aggressive, Which I think is an interesting trait to, like, want in a mascot.
Yeah.
And
to advertise, really.
And to advertise it. Even one thing that I was looking at said they're like, gooey ducks can be eaten. They're just sitting there. You can just go and dig them up and eat them. As if somehow this was a good mascot quality. And I was like, interesting.
Yeah. It's kind of like, is Evergreen trying to say it can be taken advantage of? Because, like, people would eat. Or, like, it's there to just be there. I don't know.
I don't really know. I think being the vulnerable and non-aggressive is, like, we don't compete with grades.
Yeah.
And we don't have a lot of competitive traditional sports. And, like, there's not the, like, sororities or fraternities.
Also, I feel like they're not trying to compete with other colleges. Like, they are for people to, like, come. Mm-hmm. But I feel like they're not, like, we're a better way of learning. Or, like, you know, that sort of thing where they're trying to compete with traditional colleges.
Right.
They're kind of like,
I think they can't on that level, so they're just like, we're different. So maybe in that sense they are competing by distinguishing themselves by being different. They're not selling something better, they're selling something different.
Yeah.
But they don't compete with other schools in the same sense of, like, you know, there's, like, rivalries between colleges.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, oh, that one's terrible. And then their sports teams compete. And
I feel like the Ducks versus the Beavers in Oregon, like Oregon State versus University of Oregon. Mm-hmm. I don't really know because I don't pay attention to Oregon colleges. But I think they might have a rivalry. And, like, they had something called, like, the Civil War that was between them. Like, for football or something like that. Don't quote me on any of this. But yeah, we don't, like, we do have 3 main sports at this school. Yeah. And that's, like, it.
But I guess it makes sense when you think of, like, I feel like when I think about Evergreen starting, I just picture it more hippie-ish than it even is now.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like,
definitely.
There's kind of a quality to Evergreen that I think people want to keep around. I feel like to keep around that quality is very difficult. And it's, like, always in... Because, like, I feel like you can go to Evergreen and notice, like... I don't know if it's, like, things creeping in, but you're like, oh, this traditional thing is, like... Here is, like, this even... really that different, but then there's also just, like, pockets everywhere, I feel like, of, like, unique and different sorts of
like our
stuff.
mushroom club.
Yeah.
Or just, like, little things that pop up here and there. I definitely think it's had to get a little bit more traditional in the past little while, but yeah, there still are pockets of, like, traditional Evergreen. Mm-hmm. You know, very untraditional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting, though, because you will be going to a traditional college after this.
I will.
Because you're continuing to go to school. After graduation, to be clear. She's not leaving.
No, I'm not leaving the school.
Just for beyond undergrad. So I feel like you will have apparently you already know and you're gonna know more.
No, it will be very interesting because so my teacher, she always brings up how Evergreen also prepares you for graduate school in a different way. Mm-hmm. Because we have seminar. And I think she's specifically talking about psych students. So when psych students go to get their master's, for an interview, they have you sit around in a circle with other candidates and talk. And most people are panicked because they've been in, like, classrooms with 100 people. Or maybe it's only 30, you know. But still, like, they don't really, like, talk with their classmates that much. And so having seminar really prepares you in that way. And I think it will be very interesting to see how this, like, the different learning styles, or the different teaching styles more specifically, that are in a more traditional school versus Evergreen. And, I mean, each teacher has a different teaching style, so it's not really, like, comparing Evergreen as a whole, because even in Evergreen, the teaching styles are so varied. But I think, yeah, like, seeing what different types of things are at the traditional school will be really interesting. Even though I have an idea of, like, how some of it will be. I don't know, I'm excited. Today.
Yeah.
Not every day, but today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta say, most of my function of... I just use Speedy for shock value.
Yeah.
From other people who've never heard of Speedy.
I mean, you bought a geoduck magnet, which isn't specifically Speedy,
No.
but is a geoduck. And
Is a
what are you
geoduck.
gonna do with that magnet, Dagny?
Dang, giving away the surprise!
This is coming out later.
Oh, that's true. No, we definitely
Will
filmed
your
this the same day
family
you're hearing
listen
it.
to this? Even
No, I bought a geoduck magnet to give to my cousin. I don't really talk to my cousin that much.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of a... I don't know. I like giving prank gifts. I like giving unexpected gifts. It's weird because in the love language test, gifts are very low. And when people give me gifts, it's not all... I mean, it's like, okay. But I feel like
Right.
what I do like is gifts for like really random yet fun occasions that
Yeah.
I didn't expect or that other people didn't expect.
Right.
Like a prank gift.
Yeah. Prank gifts. Yeah, I feel like you're really giving this to your cousin because you think it will be so unexpected.
Yep.
And I don't know. I don't know your cousin, but I feel like she's going to be real weirded out.
When you give someone a gift just to see a weird look on their face, it's not for them at all. Maybe it's a gift to myself.
I think you like to give
Maybe-
to yourself, Dagny.
that's why gifts isn't my love language, because I do it to myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, excuse me, I have a gift for myself. Hand them a package. Please open it. This is for you, but the gift is for me.
Yes.
It's not confusing. It's
No.
totally natural.
Yeah. I don't know. I've used Speedy as a shock value, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I find joy in it. Because, like, part of me is like, everybody thinks my college is weird. Yeah, let's embrace that weirdness and be like, yeah, my college is weird. Look at all these weird things it does.
Yeah, I think it's because, like, other things I don't want to use for shock value. I just want people to accept. But this is the one thing where I'm like, yes, I will use. Like, if people are like, oh, what do you mean you don't have majors? Like, I'm not using that as like, oh, haha, we don't have
Right.
majors. I'm like, it's not that funny. We just don't have them. Like, stop asking about it.
My grandma asked me, she was like, what are you getting your degree in? So I told her Evergreen doesn't, and she wasn't very much fazed by it.
Uh-huh.
She was like, oh yeah, I just didn't know what you were, like, asking. But she knows somebody who their son is going to Evergreen right now. And the dad's like, that degree is going to be useless. Like, completely useless. Which I think he's a little older.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's my grandma's age, and he's kind of just like, she's like, oh, well, you know how he is. I'm like, I have no idea who you're talking about, but sure, Grandma. But, like, I know someone else who went to Evergreen, and he, like, got his degree, his emphasis, like, I think he made up, and it was, like, I don't know, engineering and, like, airplane type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But now he works at Boeing, and, like, has, like, a really good career there, and, like, thriving, and, like, you know, I don't think anybody thought he would come out that way.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, it's hard to say because, like, with Evergreen, it's definitely, like, you need to decide that you want to do something and then go do it.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't, you don't have to know what it is, but you're like, oh, I'm going to try this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know how much a school is responsible for, like, what happens in the process. I mean, somewhat responsible, obviously. Yeah. But, like, I don't know. I don't know. It seems weird to think that going to school for 4 years could be useless.
Right.
Like, no matter what you were doing, if you spent 4 years doing it, you'd think something would happen.
Well, I don't know what kind of thing this person's interested in, so maybe they're interested in something related to arts. Let's just say, like, they're doing art, and the parent thinks that science is the only way that they can make a career. You know, then it doesn't matter what school you're going to. It's what your field you're going into. But I think this guy might think it's the school a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I'm having a great college experience just from personal growth, academic growth, and I wish I was growing physically, but no. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely feel like there's a lot more room for growth in me in, like, career skills. But I also feel like it's not essential to know certain things right now. I have more time to, like, learn and, like, learn things while doing the job. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, oh, no, I don't have, like, the knowledge you would have after having, like, 5 years of work experience. It's like, no, duh. You know?
Yeah, I sometimes worry about my ability to actually active listen, be in that counselor role type deal, and, like, part of my class this quarter is being in the counselor role, so that's really helping me, because I'm like, oh wait, I'm just learning, and then I'm like, but I won't have that before I go to grad school, and then I'm like, that's where you learn it.
Right.
Like, nobody really does what I'm doing in my class at an undergrad level. It's all in the graduate level, so I'm fine. But then I panic.
Yeah. I think a big thing for me is that I feel like I'm growing, like, in my personal, like, I don't know what to call this, but, like, my life philosophy, like, how to live life.
Yeah.
And that is very satisfactory to me. Because I feel like I can always learn what I, like, more job-specific skills.
Like, knowledge about those types of things, yeah.
But, like, the, like, framework for how I, like, view and live my life, I'm really glad that I'm working on that a lot.
Yeah.
Younger.
Same. Yeah.
You know? Yeah, and I think that's really, I don't know, this is a difficult time because I feel like there's a lot of things that are really important to learn, but you can't learn them all between the ages of 18 and 22.
Oh, no.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you have to, like, put his in, yeah.
I think it's also important to be aware of your personal growth and your personal growth of your philosophy, as well as the academics, because some people might go in, push aside all their personal stuff and focus on the academics, but when they come out of college, they're not going to know who they are. Or have had that time to grow while doing academics.
Yeah, I mean, you really just don't have time to do it all, and whatever you do in college, I think, will be, like, it's a great opportunity, and after that, it's going to be harder. So I definitely think if I'm like, oh no, I need to do, like, this is a weird example. I don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm like, oh no, I need to do this extra internship before I do this other thing.
Right.
And it would be after college, and if I had to do it after college, that would be more difficult, I think.
Yeah.
Just because of, like, I don't know if I needed to, like, also, like, have a job at the same time, and then I wasn't.
Right.
I don't know what I'm talking about,
well,
but I feel like it's more difficult after college.
Well, I also think you wouldn't get as many opportunities. Like, they're like, oh, college students, that's great. But if you're post-grad graduation, they might be a little bit more like, oh, well, you've had your chance to get this. We need to let somebody else have it. Mm-hmm. Or maybe not, but yeah.
Yeah. Anyway. Honestly, I don't know what I'm talking about. I just have the doubts.
Me too.
My friend wanted to know, because I was talking about the use of the word a and the.
Uh-huh.
And she was like, how defining when you use the word a and the is actually, like, very difficult. And she was like, how would you use the word the wrong? And it was actually, I couldn't think of anything. But then I watched Teen Titans, which is my favorite show ever, by the way. Not Teen Titans Go. It's trash. But Teen Titans, the first one. And Starfire is an alien, by the way.
Okay.
She uses English, like, pretty good, but she uses the word the in the wrong place a lot. And I was like, oh, that's how you use the incorrectly.
Interesting.
I know. So.
Yeah.
But anyway, we've gone off topic about Speedy. But I think at the end of the day, you guys should watch Teen Titans.
Okay.
If you got anything from that discussion,
I thought it would be like, Speedy's great.
No.
Work of art.
No.
Evergreen and Speedy together forever.
No.
But it's watch Teen Titans.
Watch Teen Titans.
I have not seen that.
I know where the hearts of our viewers live.
Teen Titans.
Teen Titans.
Why did I want to say Teen Titans USA?
I don't know.
Like, go, like, put my hand in there and be like, Teen Titans USA! That's where I'm at, apparently. I don't know anything about Teen Titans, except there's apparently somebody named Raven. Right?
Yep.
That's all I know.
Yep.
But, yeah. Our list of pressing questions continues as we end today's monologue. Do you like Evergreen's mascot?
You can now find us on Google Play, YouTube, Spotify, CastBox, and Messy. Just search for Basically Misled.
Send us show ideas and answer our burning questions at basicallymisled@gmail.com. Thanks for listening and good luck with your future endeavors.